This is the webpage that I designed for my online course design class. It is an English class, and the theme was our environment. So it had a lot to do with global sustainability, environmental awareness, things like that. What I did was I created this site to hold all of the information for the course. On the right, I've got the links to Moodle, to Second Life, to the school website, and to my project that I based all of my research and designing and planning for this online course. For the weekly assignments, I used a format that was the same for each week or each module. That way the students could get familiar with the basic format and know where they could locate everything. I have the title, what week they're on, when everything for the week is due, how many total points everything was worth for that week, and then the topic, which would be getting to know Second Life, how the course will be formatted, and getting familiar with classmates and the layout of Moodle. So that was all kind of encompassed in Module 1 or Week 1. And now I've got the course syllabus link here that I've created. It's just a Google Doc. I've got my course syllabus here, my instructor information, course description, course requirements. There are a lot of course requirements for this class that I created because it's a higher level course and there's a lot of front loading that is involved with it. So students are expected to get familiar with Moodle and Second Life and the course website right off the bat. Then I've got the grading rubric. We've got each activity, how many points they're worth, and how many total points they'll be worth for the entire semester. And then they can kind of track their own progress and write down how many points they've received if they want to print this off. And these are kind of the topics for each week. And it just kind of visually lays it out in a calendar form so that students can see when everything's due, which I think is a really nice added feature. And that link is also found here, the Fall 2010 course calendar. I've got a list of rubrics that they can go to find out what they need to do for each assignment. We've got announcements and news, blog, handouts and resources. Anything they'll need is going to be on this course website. This is what my Moodle page looks like from the student's perspective here. And like I said before, making things easily navigatable was my #1 goal in creating this online course. So everything's got steps, everything's numbered or bulleted to let them know exactly what they need to do and in what order. I tried to make this as easy as possible because I know being an online instructor, you could spend most of your time answering emails and phone calls and text messages or whatever, discussion boards. So trying to alleviate all of the questions that students will have right off the bat was one of my #1 goals. And another thing I learned throughout some of my online course design classes were different colors that were more effective in the classroom. And one of the articles that I had read had actually shown proof that students work better and are more efficient in environments where there's blues and greens and purples. Like I said before, another one of my goals was to make sure that I appealed. Everything that I designed appealed to my students. So the first second that they saw it, they knew exactly what they needed to do, or their eyes were focused to the bulleted points or to the numbered instructions or to the video, things like that. I made them all stand out too, because everything I've included in my online course is important. And it all is kind of structured so that it goes in a certain order. So I wanted to focus their eyes first on this welcome message. This font's bigger. Then I created the video for them to watch. It's underneath, so they know that that's the next step. And then I have all these links underneath that. So so they know they're in order, they know exactly what they need to do. And with the reminders that I give them, they always know that you're supposed to look at the weekly outline to find exactly what you need to do. Now, as you can see, each week looks almost exactly the same. We've got the week number, the module number, and its title. And then we've got the list of things that they're supposed to do. So the first thing you need to do, proceed to the Second Life video, the next link. I use words like next and last and first and second. And as you can see, we go down, we've got discussion boards every single week. Like I said before, group work and collaboration are central to the theme of constructivism, which is what I base my teaching style off of, and I want to welcome the opportunity for students to work off of each other and learn from their experiences. And it also helps them build strong social skills if they're working with others responsibly and maturely. Now, here is what Second Life looks like. And this is on EdTech Island. We created these floating mountains. And if you can see directly in front of me, that's a floating mountain. We've got one over here. We're actually on a floating mountain as well. Now, my group had this island that I'm standing on now. And what we did was we tried to create this peaceful kind of whimsical little area. We've got different group meeting areas here at the picnic tables. We've got butterflies and plants and things that talk to you when you walk by. It says, they say little environmental facts. We've got these little glowing footprints to kind of guide students around the island. Now, our group created this island, and it was all a part of a scavenger hunt lesson that we wanted future students to do. And what they would do is we would gather here around the bonfire, and they can play this slideshow here. Now, it details what they're supposed to do, but each of these balls has different instructions within them. This little picnic area is where everybody will meet back up when they're done with their scavenger hunt. Basically, like I said before, we've learned so much about the power of reflection throughout the Master of EdTech program at Boise State. And we wanted to give our students an opportunity to reflect on the activity they did. But this screen here has a little assessment for them. They basically, once they're done with the scavenger hunt and they've turned in their note cards where they filled out information that they found along the way, we meet back here, we discuss what we did, what they found, and each group is going to some different landmark, and they're learning about different environmental facts and things like that. So when they come together in these groups, they're almost kind of teaching each other about what they learned, is what my reflection has taught me. One of the lessons I had to design for my 521 course, which was Internet for Educators, is a lesson that was geared toward my content area, which is language arts or English, and towards my grade level, which is high school. And as you've seen before in the artifacts that I've presented, I have certain principles that I've been basing my teaching style and my designs off of, and central to that is the idea of collaboration. In all of my designs, I allow for group activities. That way students can learn from each other's experiences and kind of share ideas and build important social skills as well. throughout my designs, hopefully you've seen that I have a certain structure to them, so that I use repetition a lot, in that all of my slides are the same. As you can see, they've all got the same heading, kind of allowing for students to get right to the material and not have to dig through the design to get to it. Everything's just kind of presenting itself. I also try to make it appealing right off the bat for students. I use a lot of contrast where the background is dark and the text is lighter. I think that makes things stand out a little bit more rather than having a light background with darker text. I also use bright colors. I use moving objects, pictures, videos, moving text that kind of floats in an order where students read it and then another item floats in. So, for example, on this slide, they're learning about the 5 elements of fiction, and they're kind of taking notes as they go along, but the characters in the story, we've got a little character picture here, and then we've got the setting, which is going to be the time or place. So these elements move, there's pictures, there's text, there's all sorts of different elements that will capture the visual, spatial, textual, auditory reader. And in the YouTube video I've created, it's this same presentation, but my voice is kind of narrating it. So I've got a link within the web page that this is on that allows students to hear my voice going along with it, so they don't have to just read. And I always try to teach with the idea that my students are detectives, and they're finding clues and they're digging through information to try to figure out this mystery. And students really get into it when you have that kind of attitude, where it's kind of leaving them up to find information and problem solve. And again, I'm using alignment, I'm using repetition and proximity to draw their attention to certain features of the slide that I want them to read. And I'm using a lot of bulleted points and a lot of numbered progressive sequences to show them exactly what they need to be doing, their duties, what order they need to be doing them in, so that there's no question about what the expectations are, what the duties are, and what order they need to be doing them in. Hopefully you can see these central themes throughout the different artifacts that I'm showing you.